That's it. So let me make this crystal clear. I will dump on you. I will dump on you hard if you think that I won't and that these aren't just some things to last forever. Just gambling. And that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is well, this is very time sensitive, but that's it for today. Right now, I'm going to do a little answer all your questions to the best of my abilities, and we'll go from there. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, but let's see what we got. Rusty Bot, flipped open will save the world. No, it won't. No, it won't. But I will tell you this, it is entertaining to me. And like when they first came to me, when my buddy over at Tencent, he's like, hey man, we got this new thing. I'm like, great, you know, we've worked together before. What do you got? It's a Memecoin. I was like, click. But they're like, hey, hear me out. And this is what it is. I'm like, you know what? That's it. Thank you, Michael Y. I will dump on you. I'll dump on you hard. Because the thing is, like, people take these meme coins and like, oh, the community. I'm like, you're full of it. You're just waiting to dump on people. And for this one, like sometimes people got to, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but sometimes people need to learn a hard lesson. Am I wrong? Who here has kids, right? You got kids. And you tell the kids, don't get too close, you'll burn yourself. Don't get too close, you'll burn yourself. Don't get too close, you're going to burn yourself. Don't touch it. And at one point as a parent, you know this. You're like, okay, let them burn themselves a little bit, and they won't do it again. That's what it comes down to. So that was it. Thank you, London. The dumping community. Yeah, Tesla's right. Teeny Tesla's right. Julian says, I think I missed Sell and May Go Away and I was prepared. You know, I did a video on this not in April, talking about selling in May and going away. That's just it. Go take a look at that. And from just the data itself, May is sell in May and go away does live up to that adage, but not all the time. But the worst month statistically in pretty much all of finance is September. Go figure, right? So be a part of that. Thank you. Rob does not offer parenting advice. Rob is not your dad. I'll babysit your kids, though, for a Bitcoin. Daniel says, I haven't bought since June of last year. It feels great. Fantastic. And that's what it really all is down to. Do you feel good? Are you happy with yourself of what you're doing? That's all that matters. I will tell you this. I've made a good amount of money. I've lost a good amount of money. I've started businesses. Some businesses failed. Some businesses keep going on. Money just alleviates stress, but it doesn't really instill in you massive, massive happiness. Bren, I'll see you in London. Meme coins, it's still better odds compared to the lottery. Blindly pick one and take that $10 each week and put it in a meme just as fun. I got to tell you, Flipit could go up like 10, 100x. I don't know. But the question is how are you going to play it? That's the big thing. Thank you. What are your thoughts for BCH for the next run? Probably do quite well. You know, everybody talks about it's got to be decentralized, decentralization. We have to have decentralization. I just don't think that's really what a lot of people are really concerned with. A lot of people are just concerned with, you know what? I just want the numbers to go up, right? So that's it. Yeah. I'm sorry. BCH, I got BCH and BNB confused. BCH, I don't really understand what's going on with BCH. I don't see why we need it. Maybe somebody, does it. They increase the block size. Fantastic. Might do quite well. Digital Dave loves that thing. I thought we were talking about BNB. Binance Coin will do quite well. Totally undecentralized, but whatever. Marky, the legend, be humble, don't get greedy, and it'll work out. That's a good way to look at things. That's a really great way to work at things. There is way more trust in investing than in horse racing. That's true. I never betted on the ponies. I was never that guy. A couple of friends that love it, though. Mr. Masternode is right. Meme coins are crypto entertainment. You got to love it because there's always this adage, some people will, I think they drink the Kool-Aid and they think that meme coins are really like going to be the next big thing. I don't think that's going to happen, but I could be wrong. Red Cran, I love your honesty. DCA, micro DCA, practice taking profits. Yeah, I'm looking, when the 100K hits, I'll be jumping in the pool. That'll probably be my last video though. Wouldn't that be great? An epic way to end the channel. Bitcoin hits 100K, I jump in the pool, come out. Thanks everybody for the last 5 years. That's it. Yeah, it's been some time, man. I got a lot of things going on lately, so I haven't been able to live stream. I'd like to just live stream on the weekends, and that's it. I won't dump on you. Marty, my weekend's going great. We're doing beach tennis at my facility now. So not just sand volleyball, but I guess it's not beach tennis if we're in El Paso. It's sand tennis. Let's see. That's funny. China. That's right. That's also right. But then again, maybe, who knows? Like maybe Flipit becomes the next Dogecoin. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying maybe it does. Who knows? It is a funny thing though. Pool party. Yes. I'm sitting. Des. Amy Johnson softball's here. What? I'm going to the beach today in Minnesota. I bet it's a balmy 72 degrees over there. Shizzle Fizzle Tizzle says, what if it turns out that the U.S. knows that Bitcoin can lead to the U.S. enemies exerting leverage that puts our kids' freedom and security risks, and I'm an investor? That's just it. I think some people do know that. I think some people in government do know that. And that's why they're behind Bitcoin. That's why they're going for it. Like you have Robert RFK Jr., who was at the Bitcoin Miami conference, and he says Bitcoin is freedom. And he's right. And he had DeSantis, which some people love and some people despise. He's totally on board with Bitcoin and against CBDCs. And you got Ted Cruz, and you got Senator Lummis from Wyoming. They're all behind it. The question is who's going to stop Gary Gensler and the SEC? Because me personally, I'm not going to say the C word, corruption, not the other one. But it is quite odd just how hard they are going after it. And some people will say, well, they're just buying time before America, USA gets its CBDC out. I will remind you that the Federal Reserve has put out a paper saying that they don't want a CBDC. They want to do Fed now, which is not a central bank digital currency. It is instant payments. It doesn't control that aspect of it. So for me, I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand why Gary's still here. I don't understand why he's not giving things away. But I will say we did a video, and they did approve a couple of crypto exchanges. Not centralized exchanges, but buyers and sellers in this other type, like a broker-dealer. And the video was, I think, a couple of days ago. I'll try to link it in the description. And you believe that? I don't believe much of anything. Rose said the exact same thing that I heard. That's amazing. I heard there's going to be a congressional committee and old Gary's going to be deposed. I've got some friends of friends who are in Puerto Rico who are some of the OGs in crypto and pretty high up with who they hobnob with. And this is also a rumor I have heard. But again, they're just rumors. So who knows? But this is like the fourth time I've heard that. Interesting. Yeah, seems like Bitcoin Miami was interesting. Last year I was disappointed, didn't go this year. A lot of alpha on ordinals. Yeah, a lot of people were talking about it. And I will remind you, ordinals, because of the transactions that are going on, they've overtaken Solana. They're triple the amount as far as NFTs. So it goes NFTs for minting and transactions. Ethereum is number one. Bitcoin ordinals number 2, and Solana's number 3. It's pretty good. Deposed, not disposed. Let's see. Where else are we? Lummis's Pro Digital ID. I don't trust her. Here's the thing, though. Like, just for like ZK rollups, what if I could prove to you that I'm above 21 without showing you my date of birth and my ID card? What if there's a certain way to show it to you without showing it to you? What if there's a way to prove that you're an American citizen without giving you all the information? Maybe that is what they're talking about. Just a thought. I'm waiting to dump all my mined Doge at 50 cents to $1. Thanks, community, for buying up my coins. I think you got a ways to go. Nasha says, next bull run narrative, AI and ordinals. Look for the AI cryptos. They'll pump for no good reason, just because AI is massively going to be the next big wave. And that's why, of course, NVIDIA chips, or the NVIDIA company, did so well, because of the AI narrative. It'd be the same thing here with the narrative for crypto and digital assets. If there's a narrative AI, probably do quite well. It's the same thing back in the .com era. The .com, you had everybody putting a .com after their name, and their stock price went up. They did absolutely nothing with the internet, Snapple.com and stuff like that. But people believe in it, and they buy it, and they try to dump on people. And let's be honest, we talk about meme coins, about how awful they are. Most of these companies in the S&P 500 are the same thing. They're worthless, don't do anything. They have no utility whatsoever. They're zombie companies. Yet, it doesn't stop people from trading them. I don't hear a bunch of people complaining about that. That's gambling too. And here's another thing. Not to really say it, but I mean, let's be honest. You can do leverage trading on that. At least with these meme coins, you can't, that I know of yet. Probably some you can, let's be honest. Especially if they're listed on Binance, you can do leverage. Well, leverage trading, to be fair, mad cow, there's the rules underneath. See those rules? I made those rules not just to waste my breath. It's all gone. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Everything's a scam until proven otherwise. Don't leave anything on exchanges. You got to use exchanges to buy things, but you can take it off, can you not? Don't use leverage and take profits along the way. Those are my 5 rules. You can adopt them or not. Not your dad. You do whatever you want to. But they've served me pretty well. Do you trust China? Nobody trusts China. Chinese people don't trust China. What are you talking about? I don't. Gay RFK Jr. Yes, Eric, you're correct. Did I hear USDT is partially backed by Bitcoin now? I believe it's up to 15%. Correct me in the comment section, but that's good. However, I will remind people, the last stable coin to do that was Luna. So hopefully Tether has a better track record than what Luna did. But there were some other things going on. Yes. Thanks, V. I like love. Crisis averted. Yeah, man. Onyx side, we were talking about demographics of the channel. First of all, lots of guys, sausage party. But as far as like time frames or ages, yeah, between like 33, 35 to 55 is the norm for who turns into my channel. If you're 28, you're well below that. And you got a lot of time ahead of you. So congratulations. As much money as I make through all the businesses and crypto and all those things, I can't buy time. So memento mori. Yes. Son says, by the next bull run, regulation would have kicked in and AI tokens, man, because I don't think regulation is going to kick in. I will say this, before the next bull run, which I think is going to happen in 2025, which is after the Bitcoin halving, which is April or May of 2024. In 2024, in the United States, again, I'm a homer, we're going to have a presidential election. I don't see Joe Biden winning again. Whoever the Republican nomination will probably win. He's had some of the most disastrous, some of the very lowest presidential ratings, right along there with Trump. So I don't see him coming back for a second term. Could be wrong. But if that means that we get a Republican, the question is which Republican? And I got to tell you, no administration has been more negative as far as crypto and digital assets than Joe Biden's. And now I know some people will say, well, don't forget Trump. He wasn't that great on cryptos as well. Exactly. Trump believes, and could be right actually, that the US dollar should remain strong and Bitcoin is a direct competitor with the US dollar, which is not too far off, let's be honest. So if he comes back again, same thing. He's not going to like crypto as well. So there you go. Don't come to me hollering about Democrats this and Republicans that. They all suck. Politicians are like economic models. They're all wrong, and only some are useful. All right. You too, George, are my guys. Thanks for help. Thank you. Thanks for listening. In Canada, use a decentralized exchange. Centralized exchanges are overreaching big time. I heard from Meg, BZK. She's a Canadian. She talked about the mortgage situation there in Canada. Is there something going on with mortgages and homes and collapsing and a 40% rate, or not 40, it can't be a 40%, that doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, if you know what's going on in the Canadian real estate market, please let me know in the comments. It seems like there's a lot of uproar going on. Thoughts on Memecoin? I don't know. I don't invest into it, don't know much about it. I don't even know anything about it, honestly. So I'll tell you what I know, I'll tell you what I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Bruce says, name one Hong Kong virtual asset trading platform has actually been approved for retail traders. Hong Kong is not approved any as of 23rd, according to Hong Kong SFC. Says June 1st. That's all I know. So we'll see how it works out. No idea. I don't have a direct line to anybody in China, politician-wise. That's right. All politicians lie. You can't buy time, but you can buy coin. That was a dad joke almost. It's pretty good. Let's see. Any thoughts on Pi Network? Joseph, I don't. I think I invested in that a long time ago. Not for sure what's going on with it. Again, not in my wheelhouse. I will say this though, as far as like the things that are going to do well in the next, was it? Oh yeah, I don't know if he did or not. I will say that this is how I see things moving in the next bull run. I think just like we had in 2017, it was the ICOs. Remember how big those things were? Oh, it was huge. You should have been there. It was great. People got dumped on magnificently. And then, of course, we move into the next part, DEXs and NFTs. Now we're looking at ordinals. And I think the next narrative, NFTs are going to be great. I think layer 2s are going to do really well. They have to do really well because of all the things that are being built upon it. So look at layer 2s or side chains like Polygon. I think the next big narrative, I feel, is Web3 and blockchain gaming and NFTs. And I think for those to work, you're going to need a side chain or a layer 2 solution. That's why I talk about these games now. Because I think, you have to understand, it's not the game that is like, you got to bind this game or this game token. Look at the tokens, look at what is being built on the layer 1s and the layer 2s and the side chains. And how many different gaming projects, blockchain gaming, are using those to build their ecosystem out. If you just look at that, it kind of becomes a no-brainer. Like, well, Polygon's being used a lot, Solana's being used a lot, Avalanche, Polkadot. So maybe I'll take a look at those. And then you're going to go from there. That's why I started to talk more about not just Bitcoin every day and Bitcoin's going to do great and you should only buy Bitcoin. That's true, but it is going to be great. But you got to understand that the most of my gains in crypto didn't come from Bitcoin. It came from things like Ethereum and Cardano and Chainlink and Theta, things like that. Now, are those going to be here in the next 50 years? I don't know. I can guarantee I won't be here, but just be aware that these are the monstrous gains. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the blue chip type of thing are great in the bear to kind of consolidate, But I still think, I know me and Ben and Guy all disagree on this. I still think dollar cost averaging, when things are looking pretty depressing, moving sideways, is going to work out for me in the long run. In 2 or 3 years, I don't care that Cardano was 14 cents on March 23rd, 2020. I don't care. Those things, I set it and forget it. The dollar cost averaging goes off on Coinbase. It goes every single day. And there's a multitude of things that I buy. And then every 2 or 3 days, I move them over my ledger. Yes, I still use a ledger, but I'm going to be reviewing the Elipal pretty soon. And it's the same thing I did in 2018, 2019. I just said, well, I don't think things are going to disappear, so I'll just keep buying because I'm too stubborn. And it's just time. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. Eric says, is using the Lightning wallet a form of centralization, or are they safely diverse? I mean, there's different nodes and things like that. Here's another thing. If you have a Strike username for the app, which is the Lightning Network, put it in the comments, and I'll show you how easy it is to use, and I'll transfer some money to you. Done it before. It's very fast, very smooth. Yes, I did forget one, Cosmos. You're right. Cosmos ecosystem will outperform, I think. What about you? Cosmos is great, Tendermint and everything else. I will remind everybody, you know what was built on Cosmos? Luna. Is that a bad thing? No, it's a good thing. As much as Luna collapsed and everything went under, remember that? Just amazing collapse. Did Cosmos shut down? Was there any hiccups? Was there any stalls? Did they have to call up all the nodes and go, hey, can you restart for us? Went off without a hitch. So Cosmos is a pretty big thing. And if you want to know more about Cosmos, follow CryptoCito. CryptoCito, little crypto. He's the guy that knows the majority of it. Yeah. Craig says, wish I would have sold my SHIB at the end of 2021. I didn't know what I was doing. It's okay. You got time. I will say this. There is a link. There's a link in the description. And it looks just like this. It says, when and why I'm selling 80% of my crypto. Watch that video, because in the very beginning, I talk about the Dogecoin millionaire. And I just talk about what Craig is talking about there is the same thing with the Dogecoin millionaire and what he did and his operation. Because the problem isn't, look, the problem with you, maybe, I don't know, most of you, is that you have no problems buying, right? You have no problems buying crypto and buying the dips, and maybe you're the diamond hander. I don't know. The problem, and this is for most people, is when do I sell? When's the right time to sell? When do I take profits? Watch that video and watch the interview with Dogecoin millionaire, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, Rob Blaze. Have you heard of a crypto strategy of buying 3 months before the halving, selling 7 months after, and doing that every 4 years? Yes, I have heard of that strategy. It works out pretty well. The problem is, it's just, for me, it's very difficult for me to justify just going like 3 months before, saving up all my money. I just do a little bit better way. Not a better way. I shouldn't say it's not a better way. It's just my way. And I just dollar cost average along the continuum. Am I going to make a ton of more gains doing the other way? Potentially. I don't know. So I do. Army Piper. DCA is the way. Army, we got to do another meetup in El Paso. Julian says, Rob, you said you might disappear from the channel for a while, and that's understandable. I've learned so much from you. It might be hard to get used to. You might not be around anymore. Here's the thing. You got to remember, when I talk about going away, I'm going away from this channel once we start to get overheated in the next bull market. Because the problem is that if you're here right now, you probably have a strategy, at least a decent strategy to get out. The problem is you may not listen to yourself, even though this is the most sane you will possibly be during this time right now, is when it's flat and boring as hell. So whatever strategy you have, you need to stick to that strategy. It saved my bacon pretty well in the last bull market. Did I execute it perfectly? No. But I did just enough to do pretty well. So when I talk about going away, I'm talking about like when we start to hit to like these crazy levels, I'm just going to, that video I just share with you, that's what I'm going to sell. And I'm going to go away for a bit. And to remind people that I'm selling. I'm not going to be here to pump up everybody and be like, it's still going to go up. It's still going to go up. I could be here to remind people, but I think the best thing I can do is just go away. I will still go on to like the NFA show. I will still talk on the Dan DGen channel, and I'll still be on my Twitter and on my my community account. But I won't be doing these daily shows until we start to see a collapse. And I think when people start to see the collapse, I think it's going to be, I've already told you what I'm going to do. I've been telling you this for 2 years. When I execute it, I leave, and then I come back in the bear market and go, what did you do? Now it's time to rebuild. And that's not a very popular way that YouTubers do it. They usually just come back for the bull, get a bunch of views, and then leave. I'm going to do the opposite. Yeah. Old guy text says, had to sell my crypto to help fund my home purchase a few months ago. Broke even. All right. So DCAing back into the space. Not a bad plan. You know, like, I just want to share with everybody that if you read the Bitcoin white paper, it says very specifically nothing about ordinals or nothing about a store of value. It says it's a peer-to-peer transaction. So don't feel bad like if you're like, I got to use this to buy my house. I got to use this to buy things. You're not transacting in Bitcoin. You're just using the medium of exchange of whatever people need it to be, whether that be the euro or the dollar or the peso. You're just transferring that and using it as a peer-to-peer transaction in a certain way. So don't feel bad if you got to sell it and use it. I'm not a diamond hands guy forever, you know. I know like Michael Saylor will talk about you should always hold Bitcoin and it's going to be the greatest thing all. There's no second best. There is a vast difference between what Michael Saylor is trying to do as a billionaire with his company and what potentially you're trying to do. So just remember that. Cool. Live. DCA, baby. Adam, I will. You know what I should do is when I go away, that last video, maybe I should just put it out once a week and just say, hey, today is November 2025, November 14th, 2025. And I just sold 80% of my crypto. And this is why, here's my indicators. Here's what I said 2 years ago. This is what I did. This is what I'm gonna do with my funds, and I'm out. See you in the bear market. Maybe what I should do is I should put that video on loop and just re-upload it. And then people can say, this guy's a moron. He missed the top. I don't care. Investor says, I didn't listen to my plan, didn't devise and keep changing my plan. It was different. Yeah. Sorry, Rose. Strike app is not available in Canada. It's crazy. You know, Jack Mullis came out in Bitcoin Miami, said, hey, we're going to roll this out in 65 more countries, and Canada's not one of them. Insane. Thanks, Justin Trudeau. I've also heard good things about this. Keystone Pro, moving away from Ledger to a Keystone Pro, just waiting for an arrival. I should probably reach out to them. Right? Alfred's got a good point. It's easy to get married to Bitcoin because you think it's going to be the best thing of all time. And then you hear the price predictions, which are worthless. I did those before. They're worthless. $250,000, $500,000, 10 million by 2030. Maybe. I don't know. But I remember in 2017, when a lot of people were saying, John McAfee was like, it's going to $1 million, it's only math. And I believed him. Made sense. Here we are. When you see that video sell. This is a good question. I don't have an answer for you. Any thoughts on the project that will pump due to the new Apple VR release? I don't know. You know who you would want to follow on that one? Would be Crypto Stash. He just did a video. Crypto Stash. He just did a video on that specific topic. Check him out on that one. Ken is ridiculous. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, I said it wrong. Okay. Rainy Day says, the 13 Bitcoin. It's a riddle puzzle that there's a wallet address so you can see Bitcoin, whoever sells it gets the coins. Interesting. Metaverse tokens. My strategy is listening to Ben. I listen to Ben too. Yeah, good stuff. Great contact. I told Ben, and I made a promise. I've made a couple promises here on the channel. Two. One is I will dive in that pool when Bitcoin gets 100K. Hey. The second promise I made is I will be in Nashville, Tennessee for Bitcoin conference. And I will stick to that. So when Ben goes there and has a party, everybody show up and I'll be there, and me and Ben. Maybe I can, wouldn't that be great if I can swing Guy to come to Bitcoin conference and we're all three together and we can do a live NFA show? That'd be cool. That would be cool. Top bidder says this: the hard part is deciding what to buy after you take profits to preserve value. I can't tell you what to do, but for me, it'll be real estate for sure. And then it'll also be to take those funds and reinvest those back into the businesses I already have. So that's the best thing. I can let it sit around, but you always have to kind of want to use cash to make it work for you. And, some people will say, but inflation and, it's so high, 5, 6, 7%, whatever else. I'm like, yeah, well, have you invested in Bitconnect ever? Because that went down 100%. That was huge inflation. So just realize that, yeah, inflation sucks, but what sucks even more is watching your investment go down the tubes because you didn't, think ahead a little bit. So for me, that's what I'll probably be doing. And I'll talk about that when I sell. But make no mistakes, I will still keep at least 20% of my crypto. And some people say, well, why don't you just keep all your Bitcoin? Because here's the thing. If Bitcoin maxes are right, Michael Saylor's right, and everybody's right, and Bitcoin goes up, even if you have 0.01 Bitcoin, you're way ahead of everybody else, the millionaires and billionaires that are out there. How many millionaires are out there in the world? 200 something million? Hold on. Let's just do this. I always forget the number. How many millionaires are in the world? There's 56 million millionaires. That means that not even 1 mil. That means that not even 50% of these millionaires will never even have one full Bitcoin. So what about the billionaires? Only 2,640. So again, I think I'll be okay with just holding on to just a couple of Bitcoin here and there. I'll be way ahead of the game. And let's see. ADA is greater than Bitcoin. That's debatable, depending on what you want to do. I'll also give a shout out to another great game I think is coming out, Cornucopias. Just got to get that thing. I'm ready to play it. It just needs to actually come out. Bill's got a great, there's a term, and we've talked about this before, buy, borrow, die. And it's a lot of what the economically advantaged individuals do to avoid taxes. So you will buy an asset, you will buy real estate, gold, silver, crypto, whatever it is, businesses. And then you will borrow against that, take out loans, get a certain percentage, and then you will just keep paying it back, but using that money to fund other projects or other things you do, and then you will die. And then you will put all those assets for your kids or your family in a trust, and then it's able to save you a massive amount on taxes. So that's another way to do things. Sure. Yeah, me too. I explain how ADA is better than Bitcoin. Well, it can do more transactions per second. There's one thing. But as far as like I mean, Bitcoin is crushing everybody else in NFTs. So I guess it's not doing that good, huh? Everybody's got their own thing. Good point. What to buy? Pay off your debts first. That's very smart, especially if you have a high interest rate on credit cards or mortgages. Cornucopia is the best metaverse. Justin Castro. I think that's it. I think I did my job today. Only the poor pay full price. You're too nice. Nobody talking about the SEC approved exchanges, looked at their site. Yeah, we did a video on that one. And this was, let me pull it up. Content? I think it got like, it was pretty high in the amount of views it got. Or not. Ah, there we go. Yeah, this one right here. Where'd you go? I should probably show it to you. This one right here. SEC quietly approves exchanges. Can't remember the date, but May 23rd. So yeah, check out that video. 62,000 views. Not too bad. All right. All right, buddy. So we're coming up an hour. It's a beautiful Sunday. Get outside wherever you're at. Don't dwell too much on things. And then, like I said, for that Flipit meme coin, maybe tomorrow I'll do a live stream on my second channel, Dan Degen. Link in the description. Maybe I'll do some giveaways. Who knows? We'll see. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for showing up on a Sunday. I do appreciate it. And that is it for today. I will see you guys on the next one. Adios.